She's a business development manager at BNR Business Solutions and proud to be part of an exceptional team that has unparalleled expertise developing solutions to solve business problems. She works on various Microsoft technologies, SharePoint, Teams, Azure, Office 365 custom development. She is super proud to be the WIT Network East Coast lead and NYC chapter chair. She is an IAMCP International Association of Microsoft Channel Partners NYC chapter secretary. Her passions include positivity, excellent service, relationships, tech, always learning, encouraging, helping others and her family. Let's put your hands together for Patti Cataldi. Our next guest speaker, she is India leader of the WIT network and has been shortlisted for the Advocate of the Year in Women in IT Awards Asia 2021. An alumnus of JNU, New Delhi and IIM Calcutta, she is a certified Scrum Master who is adept in managing and delivering complex projects and ensuring quality. She is Program Lead Digital Upscaling at PricewaterhouseCoopers AC, Kolkata. Please welcome Joie Bose. Our next guest speaker, an alumnus of London School of Economics, University of London, and an old-timer with PwC. She leads the risk consultancy business and is responsible for managing the diversity and inclusion and women in technology programs for the PwC Kolkata Acceleration Center. She is a mother to a 5-year-old, a technology risk expert, and an avid traveler. Please welcome Kamalika Sen. I welcome you all, ma'ams.
Thank you so much, Shashi. I am so excited to be sharing this presentation with Joie and Kamalika. Thank you so much for joining last minute, ladies.
Thank you. Warm welcome. Yeah, we really appreciate you both decided to join our platform and come together. Really great for us, great for the attendees. Yeah, thank you very much.
Would also like to thank Nahal and Deval for this opportunity. So it was so really wonderful of you to offer us this stage to share our passion. So thank you. Absolutely. So I prepared a few slides, but I wanted, this whole discussion is all things that I love. so I'm going to start presenting slides, but I wanted to just show the power of relationship building because I met Nahal at an IAMCP event and shared with her about the WIT network. And here we are, 2 months later, and we're doing a program together, which is wonderful. So I think it just amplifies some of the messaging that I was hoping to share with everyone today on relationship building and really aligning yourself with some communities that can help personal growth and business growth. So I'm going to share my slides now, if that's okay. But I fell into a career in tech. Was not intentional that I got into technology. And, oh, 1 second, let me just make sure I'm sharing my slides.
Yeah, I think the third one, we can see a screen.
Can you see them? Okay, wonderful. Yes. So right out of college, I fell into a career in technology and I loved it. I loved the pace of it. I loved that it's constantly changing, always learning. I was always being intrigued and learning new things. The things that you knew yesterday, didn't necessarily apply anymore. So I was grateful that I fell into a career in technology, but I was not always surrounded with women. I was mostly around men and I was fine with that. I was completely comfortable with that. But I know there's so many people who are not comfortable with that. And part of what I love about the WIT network is it helps you build your tribe. So maybe you don't have a lot of women in your immediate group at your organization, but there is this support network that can help you, whether you are, working in an organization with not a lot of women or whether you're trying to change that and get more women to come to your organization. This is what I want to make sure everybody understands. I switched jobs about 4 years ago, and my current employer, B&R, sent me to Microsoft Inspire. And that's where I met let's see if I can switch my slides properly. Tech support. Let's see. Can you guys see my slides changing? Oh, yes, that's where I met this powerful woman. I went to a Women in Tech luncheon at the Microsoft Inspire conference, and I felt like my eyes were opened. My awareness of how I had been living in a bubble in my career was totally open. Christine Bongard, who's one of the founders of the WIT Network, along with Karine, who I will switch the slide in a second, was on the stage talking about women in tech, some of the issues, the commonalities, some of the things we all share, working in technology. And I said to myself, I have got to get involved with this group of ladies. They are just wonderful. They're trying to pave change. And I have seen this organization grow from a small group of women to it now has over 7,000 members. So this is a little bit of information on Christine. I'm going to share a little bit of information on Karine, who is also one of the co-founders of the WIT Network, who is a wonderful powerhouse. Absolutely adore her. And then I also had created a quick slide on me, which I will share. One second. And you guys know all this from the intro, so I don't want to spend any time on it. But I did marry my high school sweetheart, and I have 3 daughters, which the WIT Network, I think, helps me with as well. And I'll share some of that. But I want to make sure everyone here knows about all the goals and the programs that being part of this network, it just creates opportunities. And Joie and Kamalika will share a little bit about the India chapter as well and some of the things they have going. But this is the broad global picture for the WIT Network. So we're now over 7,400 members. And we're in 53 countries, which is wonderful. And I am the lead for the New York City chapter, and I am learning every month from the ladies that join our meetings. We have conversations, we have speakers, and but we have 3 goals of the WIT Network. And number 1 is to keep women in technology. We have been losing women at a super fast pace before COVID. And now after COVID, I think the pace has definitely increased. So we're trying to create a support network for career goals, for opportunities, for learning opportunities, for networking opportunities. So the women who are in technology stay in technology and move into leadership positions and then bring other women up with them. That is two of our 2 clear goals. And the other goal is actually to try to introduce technology to young girls and let them see what a career in technology could be. Some of them, they don't have visuals. So when you're in technology, you can be in sales, you can be in marketing, you could be an engineer, you could be a developer, you could be an analyst, project manager. The faces, the jobs are so different and diverse. It's just opening their minds to being in a career in technology. So let me just move on to the next slide. We need more women managers and leaders because we bring a different perspective to the table. And when we can be involved in the conversation, change happens. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring positive change. So I'm just going to give a quick overview of some of the global programs and initiatives that as a member you have access to. Some of these programs are also open to the public. You don't need to be a member. I'll try to make sure I show you those as well. If you're a member of the WIT Network, we have webinars multiple times a month. And if you can't attend the webinar during the time it's given, it's in a library. So the content is always available to members. If you're not a member, some of the content is available, but not all of the content. And some of these webinars can be wellness, mental health, panel discussions about COVID, being a mom, multitasking, working from home, all these things that get, that you can have a support network, other people going through similar situations as you, and you can learn from each other. So that's one of the benefits, is the always available content. There's mentorship. So one of the things I wish I had as a young girl in technology was someone to talk about my career with. I really didn't have career guidance. I always just tried to do my best. But the WIT Network covers that, because if you're early in your career, you can make a mentoring contact. We have mentoring circles to talk about specific things going on in the world and in a career. And we also do facilitator training. So if you want to actually start doing mentoring in your organization, we'll teach you how to do that too. All, again, trying to make change, positive change. So there's so many networking opportunities and training programs, which I personally have been able to take advantage of. I took the Emerging Leaders 9-week program for leadership. Joey, I think you did as well. And it was life-changing. You know, it was almost like another layer of awareness about myself that I never had. And in fact, it made such a positive impact to several of our corporate members that they're sponsoring in this event. And every year there's going to be at least 2 to 3 cohorts of leadership training. It's a $1,500 program that you get for $100 as a member of the WIT Network. And both Nintex and Jabra are supporting that initiative. There's also Azure Fundamentals training. So let's just say you're not in technology position, but you have interest in it and you think, I might want to do this. There's Azure training. There's AI training. There's workshops. We're actually going to have a workshop on how to read a P&L report, because they found when women apply for upper level management positions, many women don't know how to read a P&L report. So we're doing a whole session on how to read a P&L report. This is just a little bit more on the Azure training. And I can add these slides somewhere, or Nahal, I can provide them to you if you think it would be beneficial for people to have them. This is just more about our networking. I want to make sure I leave time for Joey. So I'm just going to bring up the local communities. So that's why Joey and Kamalika are here. So I'm from the New York City chapter and New Jersey chapter, and they are here from India, which I think many viewers are from India. But we have local meetings. In addition to all the global content I was showing you, we have local meetings. And before COVID, we all got together in person at the Microsoft office in Times Square. And I built so many wonderful relationships with women. Some are new in their career, some are senior in their career, some are looking to make a change and feel a little confused. But these local communities, I feel like, are such a great way to just build your tribe, meet women, like-minded women and men allies that could help us personally grow and professionally grow. And this is just a few shots of some community events. I'm up there in the with the skyline photo. And then this is just a few things on our ambitious, I'd say, calendar. So our hope is to train 1,000 women in a day. We launched the program in September. We're actually going to do it in this fall, and then we're dividing it up into the spring. So the goal is to train 1,000 women in Azure Fundamentals and AI, and that's started and still available if anyone has interest. The Emerging Leaders cohort program. We're creating some new leadership programs. So for women who are looking to get into management, we've created quite a few motivational, like ebooks, research papers, a diversity and inclusion leaders workshop. But I think the most exciting thing is we're going to come out with a WITWorks job board, which is something that people have been asking us for. They say, I want to hire more women. I can't find them. I would love to put someone in this role that's a woman. So the WIT Network heard it loud and clear and is going to create a job board. We're hoping to have it the first quarter of 2022. So that's coming soon. And then I think that's the last thing I was going to share. Oh, there are memberships. Just in case anyone is interested, there's an individual membership of $97, and there's corporate memberships available for small and larger businesses. So if anyone has any questions about that, I can put my email in the chat and be happy to answer any questions about that. And then I really want to stop sharing and let Joey and Kamalika talk about what they're doing in India, because they're killing it. They're doing great. They're doing such an awesome job. So I'm going to stop sharing.
No, Joe, you are not audible.
Yeah, I think this is the most famous phrase of last year. You are on mute.
No, sorry, Joey.
You may have multiple microphones.
Yes, I'm about to say that.
We can hear you now. We can't see you, but we can hear you.
Now we can see you and not hear
We
you.
can't hear you. Yeah. Do you want to turn off your video and see if we can hear you again?
How about you just log in again, turn off all your windows and just log into Airmeet again.
I think in the top, yeah, top right of the browser, there is a camera and microphone permissions. Maybe we might have clicked no by
I lost
mistake
her.
when she logged in.
I think Joy's logging in again.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
while we wait for Joey, she does have the slides, so we will have to wait for her. But let me give a little bit of context. So, when we were introduced, so Patty or Joey and I, you would have noticed that our introductions talked about our professional achievements, but it also had, a little about our families. So, in Patty's slides, you would have seen her family and her dog. And I think that's a fundamental component of WIT, where we're not only focusing on the technology advancement learning, but we're also looking at the overall holistic development of an individual as to who you are and how you can develop. So a lot of our programs are curated, keeping that in mind that yes, technology upskilling is important, but there's a lot of other things. And Joey, if you're back, we can start on that.
Am I audible? Oh,
Oh, yes.
yes, I am audible. Great.
We can hear you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. In fact, while Patty was talking about networking and how she met Nehal, this kind of reminded me about the mentorship circles where I met Patty. And
I
then,
met you. Yes.
yes,
Yes.
and I learned so much from her, especially the power of positivity, the power of creating a network. And in fact, that is the precise thing that we are trying to do with WIT Network India. And that is, and we began this journey. Honestly, when we began this journey, there weren't enough people joining us initially. It started off with 30 people, and I think it was in March we had our first event, March 2021, and now it's moved on to brilliant turnout. We have 200 people as well, and
That's huge.
yes, and that is phenomenal, more so because in India, women focus more on being perfect than in being brave. Uh, they concentrate without, so taking risks is something that women do not usually end up doing, and that is what we want to encourage them, and we want to help them grow as individuals and as professionals. So here is our mission, which is very much in alignment with the UN goals, the UN sustainable goals. And recently the report came out which said that COVID-19 has actually moved back gender parity by 30 years almost. Initially it was I think 99 years, and now it's moved to 130 something. So the point being this, once we take this into consideration, we realize that in India, especially, this is a little bit more. We only have 28% of our STEM jobs and STEM jobs and STEM fields where people are studying. Only 28% is filled with women, and that is a sad number. And we really want to bring it up, and we want to help people, and not only help women realize that they do make up 50% of the populace, and that they can do what they want to do. And this is why we have our events are categorized under three main pillars. One being we help people understand what leadership is and how they can become leaders. Second one is we try to provide technical training, and the last one being uh, well-being of the self. So, and all this is in alignment with our UN Sustainable Goals. Of course, we have fantastic sessions of that we do take part of, that's provided by the WIT network globally. And in fact, I'm actually taking part in the Azure Fundamentals recently, and I'm up, and tomorrow our class is there. So had this session happened tomorrow, I would have said no, I'm going to class. And that's very interesting because I am a mom, I have a son, and despite that, I have the guts to go ahead and learn something new. And this is something that I am indebted to my organization and the support system that is there, especially Kamalika, who has always encouraged me. And which network itself helps us build a network where women are actually supporting women. On this note, let us talk about some of the events that we've had, which have gained a lot of traction. And, more than 200, around 200 women are teaming up together twice a month to come and help each other and help themselves. So over to you, Kamalika, on the first event that we would like speaking about, Women's
Sure.
Equity Day.
Thanks, Joey. So, we recognize significant calendar dates in the year where we can definitely pick up a topic to speak on, or we pick up a topic of interest for our people and say, let's go and speak. So, we've had conversations on the importance of speak up, work life balance. One of the important dates was Women's Equality Day, and we had invited someone who works at a grassroots level. So, Purna Roy Chaudhary, she works with Grameen India, and she works with the people at the villages trying to understand what do women and children need to help them progress, to adopt and use technology. We use a lot of apps on our phone, but that is not so much prevalent in the villages. So how do we get that initiated? How do we tell them, yes, you have a phone, you have a smartphone, but how do you make the most use of it? How do you do banking through phone? And she works with all these sectors and technologists to make sure that we're bringing a technology to the grassroots level as well. And in the conversation, we talked about the gender gap that's been created. Joey mentioned 99 years before pandemic, 136 years now after pandemic. In India, that gap is 197 years. So if I round that off, it'll take us 200 years in India to bridge the gender gap. And that's just scary. And therefore, we need more women to come up, be confident, speak up, encourage and inspire each other. To take up challenges. So during Women's Equality, we looked at the gap. We looked at what we can do to help women grow. We talked about the importance of allyship as well. So not just women helping women, but also how can men help and be advocates of this whole initiative, support us as mentors, as SMEs, as trainers. So there are various ways, and you cannot clap with one hand. So you definitely have to have men as allies in this whole initiative. So that was the overall program. So you want to take the next slide?
Yes, the second one, and one of another event that saw a lot of people coming together was Renew and Refocus, where Mary Hunter and Kamalika actually took the session. So Mary is the UK lead for the WIT network, and she has a lot of immense energy, and we loved it, and everyone loved it, how she helped women understand that you are important, because often women, being primary caregivers in the family, they focus on everyone else and everything else without focusing on themselves, which leads to burnout. And unfortunately, women do not realize that if they burn out, then and sacrificing oneself is not a badge of honor all the time. So you need to focus, you need to renew yourself, and you need to give importance to yourself, because if you don't give yourself importance, no one will. So wellness and refocusing on oneself and well-being is another one of our uh, pillars. And this and a lot of people get super excited by this. And as you can see in the pictures, everyone is smiling all the time. So this was another one of our events. Would you want to take the next one, Kamalika?
Sure. So, you must have read this. There's a lot of article out there on what's important for our future leaders? Is it IQ, or is it EQ, or is it both? And what statistics show and what the articles talk about is, yes, of course, IQ is important. So how knowledgeable are you in your space or your domain? But as a leader, it is equally important that you have the emotional quotient, that you're able to understand the people you work with, you understand the differences that each individual brings, whether it's a positive difference, whether it's a difference that's a little challenging, but we need to work with that. So we had our partners, Capgemini, come and talk about the importance of IQ and EQ, and that there needs to be a balance maintained. It's not that one is more important than the other, but both are equally important, and even more so when it comes to EQ as we grow as leaders and as we work with many, many people in the organization. Joy, over to you.
Speaking of leadership, this was again a super exciting session we had. We were celebrating Harry Potter. In fact, the mission was to understand the fact that we learn wherever we go, whatever we read, we learn. And as human beings, we are just absorbing information all the time, even when it's fun. And Harry Potter is something that excites people so much. What do we have to learn from Potter? And in this session, we spoke about, I had spoken about Harry Potter and leadership. Christina from Argentina, she had spoken about what you learn about teamwork from Harry Potter. And Ariana is the social media lead for the WIT Network, and she's from Canada, and she spoke about the power of positivity. So this is another thing that we do. We all come together, irrespective of countries, continents, and we don't let any other thing divide us, and we just unify and focus on what actually matters from us. We support each other and learn from each other. And in fact, this is my earnest plea to everyone there. Ideally, the corporate world is supposed to be something that's evil, but honestly, if we can come together, we can make a difference, and we are already seeing the difference, for we are being the change and we are being the change agents. In fact, leadership is not the only thing that we talk about. We also do a lot of tech training, and one of our sessions was on fundamentals of agile. Over to you, Kamalika.
Thanks, Joey. So the session on Harry Potter was one of the sessions that I was able to attend rather than, attend as a speaker, but participate. And it was fun. I'm sure everyone loves Harry Potter. So, when you link all these real life things to the story, and you're like, wow, that actually makes sense. There's more to that story than just a lot of fantasy. It was fun. It was a really, really fun session. So thank you, Joey, for that. Now, Joey also hosted a very technical session with another one of our colleagues, Simi. She's from the US office. And this was based out of the need that a lot of people want to understand what is agile and is it applicable to me? So they kind of broke down it to very basics and fundamentals, just to give everyone an overview of what agile is, who should go and learn, why it's important in our organization and our context today. So this was a very good session. We'll be running it multiple times. I think there's a lot more demand that we have seen for this specific one.
Well, that brings us to the end of our presentation. Please do follow us on the socials. We're there on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is where we are most active in, and Twitter as well. And I must mention, because there are a lot of people who are here from India, that we have tried to keep most of our India events free of cost. Next, on 10th of November, we are having a fabulous session on the Ikigai, the book Ikigai, the Japanese concept of happiness. And we are trying to make a lot of sense. We are trying to help people understand what is Ikigai and how can people be happy. And there's another session on mind over matter, which is being taken by our Capgemini sisters on the 17th. So this is open to everybody. Please do join us. And I shared the link. So please do attend as many sessions as you can, because we are all here to help each other. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nehal. Thank you, Patty, for inviting us. We're really grateful.
Thank you.
So that's it from
Thank
us.
you to give us this time. And also, I like to add here, I also joined that Harry Potter session, and it was very blast on that day. I just joined WIT Network New Jersey, and I just got a notification, and I said, let's jump on this event. Let's see how it looks, and it's going on so much fun on that. I remember that. Yeah, it's very nice and very interactive. And fun game they are playing is very much good, and like you are playing as a in person. It feels like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is
The
really
point
nice
is
to
we
have you
try
all
to be
here.
as
Yeah,
the point is we try to be as creative and as supportive as possible in a way that everyone finds most palatable.
Yeah.
Love that.
yeah. And Joy, you can share the link to the event that you just talked about, either in the chat, or maybe you can send to Nehal, and we will share with the audience overall.
Absolutely, it will be my pleasure. It is. We have many events happening, but the India events right now are absolutely free of cost, and anybody who registers can join in.
Yeah, so definitely. Yeah, we have some students, some professors as well in the audience, and they can also, I think take advantage of it. And I think many founders definitely.
Nahal, I forgot to talk about the IMCP. I
Yeah,
got so
that's
excited
fine. You
about the
can,
WIT network, and I don't think there's any time left. So I don't know
that's
if
fine. We
there's.
can, yeah, have a separate session later on sometime. Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Thank
fine.
you.
We can have maybe separate partnering workshop, and then we can
Just
invite
you
people.
can mention in one word, that's also fine.
Okay, the IMCP is partnering. So where the WIT network, I think, is wonderful for professional development, personal development. The IMCP is for relationship building and a partnering network all around Microsoft solutions. So my organization is a specialty in SharePoint, and we can partner with Nahal's organization with a customer. If my customer needs something, I can bring Nahal into my customer. So it's all about partnering and education. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Great
Thank you.
program.
You did a good job.
Yay.
Thank you. Thank you again.
Yeah, thank you,
Thank
Kamalika.
you.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Wonderful
Have a
to
good
have
day,
you.
Thank
everyone.
you.
Bye bye.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
okay.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you for stay tuned for our this session, and thank you so much all of our guests, and we love your presentation and we like so much, and we are enjoy your session.